All right. Hopefully it's going to jump up. There we go, up on the board. All right, so let's just go through these pretty quickly, okay? This is on page, what is it, page 9?
Yes.
Page 9? Okay, one-step equation, agree?
Yep.
Meaning I only have one thing to do to get x by itself. Now the hard thing when doing this, and trust me, when I was in school, I said I could do it in my head, but if you practice the technique of it as we get to the larger ones, they'll become easier. Okay, can I move off? So the front board is first answer. Can I move?
Yeah.
Hey, let's have an agreement. If there's something that goes up there that you're not sure about, you say something. If you don't want to say something, tell your neighbor and have them say something. Deal? Deal? All right. Frank, you got your stuff? Okay. All right. Problem number 2. We have this. It's one-step equation. What's our one step that we have to do to both sides? Yeah, very good. Multiply each side by -3. So those cancel. They go away. Negative times negative is positive. So I get an answer of that. Good? Fist to 5 on the first 2. Fist to 5. Cool. All right. Let's go. Make sure we got quite a few phones up there in the pocket, but missing quite a few. Remember, I said it's non-negotiable. Mine's up there. Being fair. Thank you. All right, third problem. Third problem. Now, does it matter that the letter that we're solving for is on the right side? No. It still works. So, what should I do? Add 2. So 17 equals t. You could totally leave the answer like that. Now, some other teachers might want you to flip it over. This guy, I'm not worried about it. Not at all. Okay? Number 4. Oh, can you help me out? My eyes aren't as good. Is that 1/2 x? 1/2 x. Thank you. Okay. Thank you for being my eyes, my friends. Oh, this is quite comfortable. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm taking a little nap. I'm kidding. All right. So, friends, this is where I know a couple of you struggled a little bit. What would you like to do? Yeah. So, technically, you're absolutely right. Multiply by 2. I love that you're saying that. But let me ask you this. Is 2/1 the same thing as 2? Yeah? So then that's crossing out like that, right? To get this for an answer. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So the only thing I kind of modified on that is making you realize that 2 and 2/1 means the same thing. All right. Number 5 is x minus a -4 equals 3. And this starts getting things goofy. What do you think a negative is going to do? Oh, you guys are so sharp. I love it. So what should I do? Yeah. That's that. Okay. Everybody good? What Yeah, one of the classrooms down the hall, they found mold in, so they closed it off. So then they had to scrape all the wall stuff down, and then they put it all back up. So rather than doing construction in the middle of the night when no one's here and to be quiet, they decided to do it during the school day. Yeah, there are all kinds of mold. This room's never had mold in it. It got flooded 2 years ago. There was one morning I came walking in. Remember like 2 years ago in May, it was like raining like crazy for like 8 days straight. I come walking in, and there's 2 inches of water, and it's leaking through the wall. It was just, yeah, we were just flooding. I'm like, how's this building been around since 1955, and that's the first time it flooded? Yeah, I was glad mine wasn't toilet. Yeah, you got a cup or bottle? All right. So then we get 3 equals negative x, yes? Now the big rule here is we don't like to have our letter, our variable, being negative. So what should I really do to both sides? Multiply or divide. So I'm going to put a little note over here. I can multiply or divide by -1. If I do that, I wind up getting this. So the signs just really flip-flop. And again, you can leave it as -3 equals x, or some teachers are like, nope, the variable has to come first. I'm like, no, it doesn't. All right, fist to 5 on the first 6. Fist to 5 on the first 6. Got a couple. Not everyone. 3. Where's your 3? Where am I losing you? Do you need paper?
Yeah.
You do?
Can I get a paper too?
Okay. I just have a packet.
Wait, are we on the app?
Yeah. You have it?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else need one? I'm not forgetting anybody.
Yes.
All right. I think it's in that packet someplace. Can't remember where.
Wait.
Waiting. All right. So fist to 5 on the first 6. Let me just make sure. Got a 3. Where can I help you on your 3, my friend? Oh, okay. So the number 4? Okay. So I'm going to teach something today, and then will you let me know if your 3 increased to a 4 or 5? Is that cool? Cool. Yes, sir. Well, when I'm walking around, I'm kind of monitoring who has stuff, and if you don't have stuff, you get a goose egg, and if you do have stuff, you get a 4. 4 whole points. 4. You have no idea. Well, let's take a look later when I have the grade book open. Remind me later in the period. Is that cool? All right. So let's touch upon number 7, 8, and 9. And I'm going to make sure that I want your 3 to become at least a 4 but by the time the end of the period. Cool? Deal? All right. All right. So taking a look at number 7. Okay. So this is where a lot of people started to stumble a little bit. And I saw all kinds of people that were applying themselves on it, and I love that you're applying yourselves. Okay? Like all of this stuff is practice, right? Practice doesn't really count. Like if you're playing a sport and you're at practice, if you practice well, you don't get more points in the game. You do better in the game, but you don't get more points. So I want to do this kind of slowly. Okay, the very first thing I want to talk about here is I have 2 sides of this equation. Agree? Does that make sense how I just stated that? I have a left side to the equal sign and I have a right side. And I know I'm going kind of kindergarten on it, but I just want to make sure you feel comfortable. There's 2 different sides. Agree? And being it's equal, that means it's balanced. Okay? Left side equals right side. All right. So I'm going to draw. What does that black line that I just drew in there mean? Yeah, it's just like an extension of the equal sign. All right. So somebody made a great comment to me yesterday. Wait, order of operations is backwards with these. Let me say that one more time. Order of operations is backwards. So like when I say backwards, order of operations, you parentheses, exponents, multiplication, divide, add, subtract, correct? So if you go the other way, so PEMDAS is this, right? So when you are working equations, you start from the bottom and go up. So it's then SNODMEP or SODMEP. SODMEP. Okay, so with that known, I'm going to do this first. And let me just pause there for a minute. Item 1, did I do the same thing to each side of the equal sign? Did I undo something from one side and bring it to the other side? Yes. So this cancels that. Do you feel comfortable there? Okay, now I'm just going to rewrite what we have because I'm getting older. I can't do things in my head as quickly. I know you guys are as bright as they come and you can do everything in your head. I get it. But I'm going to get down to that point right there. Okay. One-step equation from here on out. What do you feel I should do to both sides? Yeah, divide both sides by -2. Excellent. Okay, those negatives cancel. I get a positive over negative, which is negative. 2 goes into 6 how many times? 3. Done. All right. You ready? This one has a fraction in it. Okay. I'm going to show a new technique. Okay, I want to see if I can get your 3 to a 4 on this next one. You ready? Feel good? Yeah? All right, ready? All right. Number 8. Now, friends, have I done anything yet to make you not trust me?
Yes.
I'm sorry. What can I do to regain your trust, my friend? Give you ice cream? Okay. Ice cream. I don't like Chipotle. Wingstop?
What about Q-Dub hours?
I don't like either of them. Man, when I go eat, like if I think I'm going to go eat Mexican food, it ain't either of those, man. I'm going down to Albuquerque and getting the stuff that's so spicy you could peel paint off your car with it. That's what I love. All right. Okay. So you might have done this one way or another way, but I want to show you a way that I swear to you, if I would have known in high school, I feel my high school math experience would have been better. Okay? Now, please don't think, Stirrup, you were like taking calculus in 3rd grade. No, it was 4th. No, I'm kidding. I struggled with math when I was in school. And I struggled with math because it looked like ants walking around on a piece of paper. And it wasn't until I was in college and I was tutoring math that I actually started to really understand it. So you ready? Okay. First thing I want to say, is there a denominator? Does everyone agree there's a denominator? Anyone like going, wait, where's that denominator you speak of? The denominator is the bottom number of a fraction. Agree? So somebody give me a quick shout out. What is my denominator that's up there? 4. You feel comfortable with that statement? Anyone not feel comfortable with that statement? Now, friends, I promise you, this is going to look a little bit weird, but if you can start just playing with it, because remember, we're practicing, right? If you practice enough, you can actually start mastering an idea. Okay, you ready? You told me there's the denominator in this problem. Agree? Ready? I'm going to multiply this by 4, this by 4, and this by 4. Okay, just watch what I'm going to do. I just want you to see what's going to happen here. So if I multiply that together, that gives me 48. Do you feel comfortable so far with this math? Okay? All right. Ready? See these 4s? They're gone. 4 times 3? Okay. I'm not done with the problem yet, but I do understand one thing about math. And right around 3rd, 4th, or 5th grade, they introduced the whole term of fractions to you, and all of a sudden math went from, oh, cool, I'm just counting or I'm taking away, to things just got real. Right?
Yeah.
And I tell you, I disliked how my teachers used to try and teach us fractions. Now, I was always the kid that was being called on in the example because I was like playing around. I was drawing stuff, looking at stuff, anything I had to do other than pay attention. And so This is how the conversation used to go when I was in elementary school. Mrs. Patterson, 4th grade. This is how the conversation went. Ready? Chris, so we're doing fractions today. Okay. And I start looking around. Okay, so Chris, last night, your parents ordered 2 pizzas. Oh, I like pizza. Smitty's is best. Okay, don't worry about what's your favorite pizza. No, I like Smitty's. Okay, Chris, one of the pizzas, 2/3 of it, 2/3 of that was eaten, leaving only 1/3 of it behind. The other pizza, 3/4 of the pizza was eaten, so I left 1/4 behind. So what is that 1/3 and 1/4, Chris? And I kid you not, my words. What does that 1/3 and 1/4 mean, Chris? Ready? Frank, you ready? Frank might be the Chris. So the teacher would say, Chris, 1/3 of this pizza's left, 1/4 of this pizza's left. What do you have? I kid you not, Frank.
Sir.
I've had to stop my conversation twice now because you're choosing to not be on task. Are you ready? Did you want to move to a more comfortable location because the third time is not the good time. Third time I send a text to coach. No? We good?
Yes, sir.
You sure? You dialed in? So where did I stop my story? Where did I stop?
Your response.
Oh, my response. Chris, you have 1/3 of this pizza left. You have 1/4 of this pizza left. What do you have, Chris? I kid you not, I said this to the teacher, and I go to the office. She goes, what do I have? What do I have if I have 1/3 of this pizza left and 1/4 of this pizza left? And I said, lunch. Chris, go to the dean. Why? So, I kid you, true story. So, the whole thing with fractions, I understand that fractions are a difficult thing. But look at this. I showed you on this problem how to get rid of a fraction. And if you learn how to do this, my friends, you can get through almost all of the math you will ever take without ever having to do a fraction. Now, I'm not sure about y'all, but that's kind of good news. That was, to me, when I figured this out, I was really upset that I didn't know about it earlier in life. My 3. Did that technique take you closer to a 4? You like that? You're like, dude, I'm just going to say anything you want because you stopped talking to me. I'm just kidding. Yeah. Did you get the same answer? Perfect. I love it. I just wanted to show an alternative way to think about it because not everyone will see the way you did it, and that's okay. But if you're getting the same answer as me doing it your way, I want you to do it. Okay? We all have different thought processes, and this one helped me. And it might have helped at least 1 or 2 others in here. That last question helped me out. I can't see it. It looks like 9 minus 1. Oh, okay. All right. There's my equal sign. Talk to me. First thing. Thank you. Divided by -2. Very good. Positive divided by negative is going to be a negative answer. How many times does 2 go into 10? 5. So -5, or you can write it like this. I don't care. Your choice. All right. So I just showed you kind of a really big idea. And I'm not saying that the way that any of you had done it, who got the same answer as me, was an incorrect way of doing it. Okay? I want us to take a look at a problem very similar to this. This is on page 11. You have page 11? Everyone good? Page 11? So I'm not going to do that exact problem, but what I want you to do is let me show you an example similar to that one. That says a over 2 plus 5 over 4 equals a minus 3 over 4. Agree? Yeah. Got it? All right. So I'm going to show you one very similar to that number 2 that's sitting up on the board. Okay? Ready? Set. Okay, 5 over 6x. Not done yet. Just sit and watch. Okay. Now, friends, you know what this problem would mean to most people in most math classes on most math tests? I'm going to skip that one thing. Or I'm just going to write some arbitrary number out of an infinite number set that could be the answer. Agree? I mean, that makes it normal. That really, now, so my friends, if I can show you how to think about this problem a smidge different, where you don't have to worry about a fraction, would you be more willing to work out that problem if you didn't have, in this case, 3 fractions? Is that okay? Okay. So, item number 1. How many denominators are in this question? 3. Does everyone agree there's 3 denominators?
Yeah.
I have 6 for a denominator, I have 3 for a denominator, and I also have 4 as a denominator. Agree? Is anyone kind of like, whoo, wait, where do these 3 denominators come from? You okay with that? Just visually. Okay. So what I did on that last problem is I just took whatever the denominator was and I multiplied it to everything. So theoretically, I could go 6 times, 6 times, 6 times, and 6 times. That sounds good, but that might have more denominators. Okay, so let's back off that idea. Because that first problem I showed you had 1 denominator, and now I have 3. Do you agree with that? Okay, now, a couple of things we could do. I could do this. I could just take all 3 of the denominators and multiply them together. So I got 6 times 3, that's 18. 18 times 4 is 72. Okay, that's kind of a big number, right? Yeah. Okay, so that might be a survival technique, but it's not the best. So let me ask you this before thinking too much. Okay, we're going to think about some numbers. And the number I'm thinking of is less than 20. You still with me? Now, I want to think about a number that is less than 20, but don't answer before until I say this. I need that number that is less than 20. I need 6 to go into it evenly. Okay? So think about the numbers that 6 would go into. It would go into 6, it would go into 12, and it would go into 18. Agree? Yes. Everyone following what I'm saying? Okay, so we're remembering 6, 12, and 18 for right now. Let's move away from that. I need a number less than 20 that 3 also goes into. Okay, 3 goes into 3, 3 goes into 6, 3 goes into 9, 3 goes into 12, 3 goes into 15, 3 goes into 18. Agree? Yes. Okay, now, let's think about what I just said. If I were just thinking about the 6's, I know that 6, 12, 18. Those are all less than 20, agree? That works for the 6. And for the 3, I said 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Okay? So I want you to look at the 2 lists. This is what 6 did. That's all less than 20. And this is what 3 did. Okay? Are there numbers that match between the 2? Okay? 6, they match. Agree? 12 matches. And 18 matches. Agree? Yes. Now I have one more denominator. Do you agree? Yes. Okay, that one more denominator is 4. So 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. I get 12. I get 16. And I get 20. Okay. Of these 3 lists, what number matches all 3? 12. Okay. Do you feel comfortable how I just approach that? Now, this is a little bit more work to think about, but I'm just trying to get your mind to start thinking of this. And as we progress with this, you'll become faster and faster with it. So, my friends, if 12 was shared in each one of those columns, because 6 times 2 is 12, because 3 times 4 is 12, and because 4 times 3 is 12, that's what I'm going to multiply everything by. I'm going to multiply everything by 12. So I'm going to multiply this by 12 over 1. 12 over 1 is the same thing as 12. I'm going to multiply this by 12 over 1, because 12 over 1 is the same thing as 12. I'm going to multiply this one by 12 over 1. And then I'm going to multiply, because I don't have a fraction, just by 12. Because 12 over 1 is the same thing. Do you see what I just did? Now, friends, this is taking a problem that I can assure you almost every student would leave blank in any math class. But watch what's going to happen here. Ready? 6 goes into 12 how many times? Twice. 2 times 5x is 10x. Okay? So 5 over 6x just became 10x. 5 over 6x is no longer a fraction. It's now 10x. 3 goes into 12 how many times? And 4 times 2 is? Equals. 4 goes into 12 how many times? And 3 times 1 is? And then 12 times x is 12x. Now, let me just stop right there. Let me highlight this right here. My friends, if I had given you this problem, would you be more likely to try it? Now, be honest with me. That first purple problem, how many of you, if I had, let's say we have a quiz like right now, and we don't, I'm just making this up. 5 minutes ago, if I gave you that problem, how many of you would have left it blank? Be honest, because I would have. I would have left it blank. Now, those of you who raise your hands, keep your hands up. If you realize that you could make that purple problem, that yellow highlighted problem, how many put your hands down and you'd be willing to try it now? Hold on. I just showed you one of the most complex things that creates anxiety real fast. Agree? Fractions. I took that, and in my opinion, I did not do a whole lot of hard work. I made it a more simplified form that I think I could do now. And I think that's kind of cool. Okay. I'm no longer worried about the purple. We made the purple much nicer. We made it green. Agree? All right, now, few things. I'm going to do this. Agree? That's the equal sign being carried down. I want to get x all by itself. I want to get x all by itself. So I can go subtract 10x from both sides, and then I bring x over here. I can subtract 12x from both sides, and I can bring the x over here. Okay? So think about which one you'd like to do. Would you like me to subtract 10x from both sides, or would you like me to subtract 12x from both sides? 10x? Okay. Now, I love that you chose that because you're getting away from the anxiety that some teacher had instilled in your brain that you always had to have the x on the left side. I love it. That's huge. That's a huge jump. So I get to here. I get to there. Subtract 3. Good. You're on track. I like it. Subtract 3. Last step. By 2. Is 5 over 2 a reduced fraction? Can I break it down? Not to a mixed number, because I have to break that whole spell. Friends, from here on out in math and in science, leave your fractions as mixed or as improper fractions, meaning the top can be bigger than the bottom. Mixed numbers are such an elementary school thing. Okay? My friends, that's the answer. Yes, I got the answer as a fraction. I didn't go and divide it on a calculator to give me 2.5. I left it as a reduced fraction. 100% correctly done problem. Okay? So, how are we feeling, friends? That's a big concept. Hey, friends, will you do me a favor? Will you try this number 2 right here? Yeah, sure. You can go too. Me? What you got? You go with them. You need to go too?
No, I have a question about it. Like, I might as well have lost, but like, why did it have to be less than 20? Like, why did you have to make that list?
I didn't want to scare you. I could have said less than 100,
Oh, okay.
but I didn't want to count this all the way out to 100.
Okay.
That's
That was
it.
it. Thank you.
I love it.
It's almost like
All right. We have 3 denominators. Agree? I have a 2, and I have a 4, and I have a 4. Now, I could list out 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and I could list out 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. But taking a look up there, what number do both 2 and 4 go into evenly? 8? I love your thought. Is there anything smaller than that? 4. 4 is correct. Okay, so if you did the 8, your answer is still going to be the same. It's just you might have to reduce a fraction at the end. But if you take the smallest number they both go into, so in this case, if I multiply this by 4 over 1, 4 over 1, 4, and 4 over 1, watch what's going to happen. That becomes a 2, so I get 2a. The 4's cancel out. That becomes a 1. Multiply those. Multiply those. Cancel those out. I get to there. Now, if you chose 8, these are all biofactors, so it's probably 4a plus 10 plus 8a plus or minus 6, I would think. All right. Where should I go from here? Okay. I like it. Subtract 2a from both sides. Then got it?
I'm confused.
Where at?
Like the whole thing. So you minus. I don't even get like what you're minus.
Okay, so let's skip past the black part, go to the blue part. You with me?
Yeah.
Okay. So on the blue part, what I want to do is I want to get the letter. In this case, it's an A. Agree? I want to get A on one side or the other. So we could have subtracted 2a from both sides, or I could have subtracted 4a from both sides because I have a positive 2a. The opposite of positive 2a is negative 2a. The opposite of positive 4a is negative 4a.
So it doesn't matter either way.
You just pick which one you want to do. Okay? All right. Everybody happy? Yeah?
Oh, I actually got that.
Okay.
Wait,
Yes.
so 5 equals 2 minus 3, what does that mean? How would that,
Right here?
yeah.
Okay. So we subtracted 2a. So this is now gone. I realized the light's still on my hand because we came over here. So that's gone. That leaves me just positive 5, which is 5. 4a minus 2a is 2a. Nothing happens to the minus 3, so it just comes down to the right. But again, we're trying to get the letter on the same side by itself. So then I'm going to add 3 because it's negative 3. So I do an add 3. So that gives me an 8 there. 2a comes down. That cancels out. And then 8 equals 2a. To undo 2a, those will be multiplied. So division undoes it. Divide by 2, divide by 2. Those cancel. That reduces to 4. So 4 equals a, or a equals 4.
I kind of get it.
Okay, we're just playing. We're not going to be masters of this yet. You got to give me 3 more months of it.
Is this on the test too?
Maybe more.
And then
Monday.
is the test Monday?
Quiz.
Quiz? Is the stuff from earlier also on the quiz?
Huh?
Is the stuff from like earlier also on the quiz?
And you know what I'll do for you on the quiz?
Yeah.
I will let you use your notebooks.
Yeah, because I get
Or the packet.
I get the other stuff.
Deal?
Yeah.
You gotta use your notebook on it. And go from there. Yeah.
How many questions is on the quiz?
255,312.
Huh? I ain't gonna be there one day.
Why?
Cause I'm going out of town.
Well, I'll be here. Actually, I won't. I got a sub. Yeah, we have to distance mass meeting.
Oh. Do you know where I'm up to?
Because I want to. Who they asked about them many questions?
So front and back.
Oh, okay.
With enough space for your. All right. Hey, friends. Friends, will you get all of page 11, 1 through 6, all? That's what we're taking care of for tomorrow? A couple minutes?